The nice guy puts the opinions of others, especially women, on a pedestal. So like this is happy wife, happy life. She wears the trousers narrative. If I do what she says, if I what is called a covert contract. If I do what she says, I follow her lead, she will like me, respect me, and have sex with me. That's the narrative that a nice guy has in his head. But what he's actually doing, like what Pete nailed before, is that he's recreating his mother and son relationship. And what's actually going on, it's not her fault. It's not her fault. When I want to make sure as we're talking through this as well, when it's not the woman's fault. It's the man's fault here. It's like you own your shit, guys, with this. You've done this to yourself. Like the friend zone in a relationship, she hasn't put you in the friend zone. You've put yourself in the friend zone. When you've shown up in a certain way, you've put yourself there. So what we want to do for guys is reclaim their own self opinion. Like they're not externalizing what kind of man they are, who they are in the world at the whim and the expense of a woman's opinion of him. And that's for a lot of guys, they want to validate through everyone in their social circle, people in their men's group or their work. They're constantly seeking external validation because they haven't got this grounded masculinity saying, I'm good with who I am. And I think this is a big part of what I noticed in my own personal experience and with other guys. The guys that are constantly seeking validation from external sources, this is the nice guy trait. Yeah. So he's shown up as such an indecisive man that she's had to take the lead, especially if you've got kids. And this is what it was pointed out to me by Yassine. He said, actually, yeah, she's taking the lead there because the kids, you need to step into this role. And I was like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And as soon as I shifted that was totally different. And actually, what's actually going on is she will drop into her masculine and she won't want to be there long term. And that's what is actually it's not good for a woman to be constantly having to lead in that relationship all the freaking time. She doesn't want to lead everything. She'll want to lead her own career. She'll want to lead parts of the parenting, but she doesn't want to lead everywhere. And the reason that she's leading is she's like, well, he's not going to fucking do it, so I'm going to have to do it. And like Pete said before, she does that long enough and intense enough, she'd be like, well, what's his purpose? I'm going to go and look for a guy that's going to make me feel a bit more safe and secure. And that is where you start to see the relationship break down, from what I understand anyway. And I've definitely seen that in my own relationship. And I've definitely seen that in other guys' relationships, reporting that. And when it started to unfold and make sense, it's allowed me to go, hang on a second, where am I not showing up as the leader in my relationship here? And that's been a big shift for me personally. And so I think watching for the nice guy traits, guys, is the first man that you need to spot.